So today, beautiful day, by the way, nice and sunny. We love that. And today we want to talk about how we live long and well with whole foods.
There's a lot of talk about longevity these days. And to me, it's almost more important that I live well as long as I live, as opposed to just extending life. It's kind of two topics.
Well, it's great to do both. And I know Dr. Joel Furman talks about the blue zones having extended life for many around 8 years longer than the average person in the US. And his interest is to extend the lifespan 20 years longer. And he believes very firmly that that can happen eating whole food, plant based, high nutrient dense foods. And I believe he's right. Why do I? I don't just believe him, because my own life experience confirms that eating whole food plant based makes a massive difference in my health, no matter what my age is. But especially as I'm getting older, I'm 81 now. I'll be 82 not too far away.
Half a year. She's 81 and a half.
And I just feel so great. And I'm just so deeply grateful that I have learned what I've learned and applied it. And the benefits are far beyond what I ever imagined, really far beyond what I ever imagined. I just have very strong movement ability, and things are changing as I'm getting older. I notice my walking is strong and sturdy, but not exactly the same level of balance as when I was younger.
Mm.
So that's okay. I just have to be a little more careful when I walk. But I love that I'm able to move so effortlessly. And we were at the farm yesterday doing weeding and pulling plants out of the ground, old dead ones. And it just felt so great just to be able to move effortlessly and get up and down and pull and use my muscles. I loved it. I'm just so grateful. And it's true for everyone who wants to play in this world to learn, well, what is the possibility of whole food plant based and living long and living well?
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of talk these days about longevity and how to get that. And what we're interested in is not just, what they're promoting is the evidence-based recommendations and supplementations and all these kinds of things. What we're most interested in is how does it show up in our lives,
Yeah.
which is how we got started on this whole path. We had health challenges, we changed our diet, lifestyle, and we noticed it, we saw it right here. And then we started helping other people, and we noticed it was like it works, because the whole food plant-based approach is providing the body with what it needs to live long and live well. In our culture today, we may be extending life in a lot of ways, but I look at the quality of life that a lot of older people have, and it's like, it's nothing that interests me. Dementia and Alzheimer's and living with chronic conditions and medications and that. They may be living longer, but those medications and things come with side effects, so they're not living as well as I'm interested in living. So there's a lot of evidence-based recommendations out there, and that's true in the whole food plant-based world too. Dr. Greger wrote a whole book on it, How Not to Die. It's great. All kinds of research showing how eating this way, living this lifestyle will extend your life and you'll live well. But we're most interested in what happens for us and what we see around us. The evidence we're looking for is right here. So that's what we recommend is that when you're looking into lifestyle changes for longevity and living well, it's really good to listen to what the experts and science has to say about it. Try the things that you resonate with, but don't just believe it because you read it.
Yeah.
Really check in and see how it is for you.
And the number one thing is nutrition, what we're putting in our mouths each day that really makes a difference and lays a foundation that is so strong.
Well, along those lines, I'll say something that we learned too, because we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, 35 years of doing this. And what was interesting is how we saw that the people that made that 100% shift, the whole food plant-based, they got these same results as we got. But there would be people in the class that would do 50%, 60%, 80%, and they would see like 20% of the results. And so, they'd be kind of complaining. It's like, well, I hardly cheated at all, but I'm not seeing what they're seeing. So it's important to recognize that if the body is needing to restore health, if there's an imbalance, a health condition that we want to change, going 100% makes a lot more difference than going 80%.
It makes all the difference.
Right,
It's essential.
right.
Yeah.
So,
You can make small changes feel a little better by just including more vegetables, especially dark leafy greens in your daily eating. But what's really possible is so far beyond that, and it requires that you eat the way the body thrives.
yeah, and that thriving seems to be the way the system evolved, which was whole foods until just, a number of centuries ago, you might say. We didn't have a choice but to eat whole foods. So our evolution of this body is like, oh yeah, whole foods, this is our fuel, this is how we work well. And then with the kind of industrial age and industrializing food processing, where we took the complex carbohydrates of a sweet potato or a beet or something, and we refined it into pure sugar, just simple refined sugar. Suddenly, the body's getting this stuff in as a fuel that is foreign to it. And in trying to deal with it, it makes use of it the best way it can, but it creates that insulin sensitivity, leading to diabetes, leading to heart disease, leading to stroke, leading to dementia. It's like, oh, really? Could it be just because I've refined my carbohydrate from a beet down into a sugar crystal? And it's like, oh, so what the body thrives with is the whole form of the nutrition, not the processed. So that's how we see it anyway.
Yeah, and maybe you wanted to say
One,
more.
one last thing is,
Sure.
so the thing is, we're looking to always provide our bodies with what they need to thrive, and we can do that by listening to the body. And it's important to recognize that we're always changing, so our needs are always changing. We change as we age, we change through the seasons, we change through different workload responsibilities and that changes the needs our bodies have. So creating the perfect diet is not what we're looking for. I eat this every day, this every day, this every day, and that's all I have to think about. It's a relationship with food and your body. The only way to keep fine tuning that is to listen to your body. And we've been fine tuning it for 35 years. And the last, as we've told you, is going SOS free. What a great change that's been.
Yeah. Well, we have worked with several types of people who've been very successful at this. And one group are people like us who have a health condition that scares them and they decide they want to make change. That's a very good motivator to get you on the track of learning what really allows the body to thrive. And the other is people who will read a book that really enlightens what food is all about and the power that it has to give us health. And there are a number of good books out there or resources. I think Dr. Joel Furman is fabulous. He is so knowledgeable. And he's done a PBS series. He has a number of New York Times bestsellers. And his latest book, what is that called?
Eat for Life.
Eat for Life, yeah, is wonderful. It's got so many scientific studies to back up the results. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he uses science to back it up, but he's got a center where people are making that shift. So, like us, he's seeing it in the trenches. He's not just looking at rat studies and saying, well, this ought to work.
And then, if you're interested in researching more, there's Dr. Esselstyn, Caldwell Esselstyn. He's worked with heart patients and done a phenomenal job. Dr. Dean Ornish is another. Dr. John McDougall. He's passed recently, but he has so much available to really educate people. And then Dr. Greger, his book, How Not to Die, is good too. So inquire. See if the scientific evidence is there to make it so obvious. If we're willing to make the really small changes that make you feel better and better and better, why not? Why not give it a go?
Yeah, live long and live well.
Now the recipe. Oh, it was so good. It was like spring in my mouth all of a sudden. So we call it a tangy cabbage salad. It uses fresh basil and lots of veggies. And it has the most simple dressing made of lime juice, mustard, and a pressed garlic clove. Yum. We
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
We served it with a baked kabocha squash that rounded out the meal, and it was really good.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for joining us again, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.